Listen, make sure you like this video as you are coming in. Make sure you like it. Thank you. What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New. And honey, I am back in the building. Listen, this time, honey, I am back to talk about Dustin Ross. He had dragged Nene. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? But he dragged Nene over her last interview with LaTosha Scott. He didn't like how Nene allowed, LaTosha, honey, to play in our face and lie. He felt like Nene didn't do any research. I disagree with that. And Nene actually came out and did a video and said that she wanted to get to know LaTosha. People was upset that she didn't know that Tasha had a son. That's not really the first thing you think of, though, when you think about Tasha Scott. You think about Escape, her allegedly stealing from her sister. That's what you think about. Her husband cheating on her. That's what you think about. So the whole thing with the son, I felt like that was silly. Carlos, he defended Nene. And he said that it was Nene that helped him out with his podcast. He would do his podcast on Zoom, and then he started to do them in person, and he blew up. His YouTube channel, it really blew up. Nene coming in person, she got like 1 million views. Okay, he made a lot of money from, interviewing her and taking her advice. So I was in support of Carlos defending Nene because that's the least he could do. Okay, so yeah, it's like, Carlos, you better get on in there. Claudia got to saying Nene need a producer. Claudia, you over there doing them damn plays, and congratulations, but you're not in a position where you should be telling Nene what she needs to do. You're not. What happened to that show with you, Funky and Al? It's gone. Y'all copied off of something Nene wanted to do. Okay? And the shit didn't work out. You the last person. That's why I be telling y'all, I be feeling like Claudia has this hard on for Nene and she needs to let it go. And I know some people will say, well, she can have an opinion and she can. I would have set this one out because now you just look like a hater. Nene is going to get better with her interviews. What people have to understand when it comes to YouTube, whether, it's a celebrity or a regular person, this shit takes time. I'm not like as good as, with what I do, as I was like in the beginning. Like it was a struggle to really, my show was bland as hell. It was. When I first started, anybody will tell you, when you first start doing this, you don't know what the hell you're doing. You don't know what you're saying. You're still trying to find your footing. You're still trying to make this shit flow. Hell, when you're doing this, you're trying to convince yourself, and then you got to convince some other peoples at home to buy into you. This is a lot. So this, this speaking on YouTube or having a talk show, this shit gets better with time. And that's, for anybody. All of us is human. It don't matter how much money somebody got. It'll get better in time. Okay, I love Nene's set. How did y'all feel about the set? Did y'all feel like the set was pretty? Let's see what some people think about this. So one person says, Carlos is a liar. He said the same thing about talking to Melody all the time, and she said that wasn't true. He be capping. What? Did he say that he always be talking to Nene? Another person says Nene is still full of herself. It takes humility and self-awareness to accept constructive criticism. When someone thinks they already know everything or refuses to listen, they miss out on opportunities to grow. Nene might think she's being strong or confident, but real strength includes being open to feedback. It's how we evolve. Yeah, that's true, but like I said, everything takes time. And, you know, it really does take a lot to put yourself out there. And a lot of people that have not did that on this level, they are the first ones to tell people, oh, this ain't right, and you doing this the wrong way, or this is what's wrong, and they're nitpickers. Okay, that's really not in the game. It's another thing, though, if you're actually doing it, you know? So, yeah, I feel like ain't nothing wrong with constructive feedback, but stuff ain't gonna be perfect. And people go run their show the way in which, you know, they see fit, the way in which it makes them feel comfortable. Another person says, yes, Carlos has something to do with Nene wanting to team up with Melody. Hail to the no, no. Oh, y'all remember we talked about that. A lot of people thought that it was Carlos that told Nene to interview Melody, and, you know. So, she never got back to Nene. So, another person says Nene is her own worst enemy. She doesn't like listening to people who give her advice, and she can't take criticism. I remember when she first left Real Housewives of Atlanta and got that acting gig. Someone asked her about or recommended that she get an acting coach. She went all into this explanation about her process and why she doesn't need one. Another person says, we don't care about Nene sharing her journey. She should be beyond that rookie mess at this stage in her life and career. It shows lack of professionalism and true passion. She simply wants to be in front of the camera, and that's it. Another person says, where is Dustin's show since he is such a critic, in my opinion? I know that's right, honey. Dustin, where is your show? Dustin, I guess he do little comedy shows and, you know, stuff like that. Oh, some more people are talking about, you know, how Melody shouldn't work with Nene, you know, because they feel like it will have Carlos King undertones, honey. One person says that Mel knows better. I'm not worried about it. Mel is too savvy to be bothered, and her piece is everything. And trust, Nene Leakes needs to take several seats. Oh, child, look, what she got to do? What did Nene do? Another person says Nene still thinks that she doesn't have to put in the work. Why didn't her good friend Carlos offer to help her? Another person says, this is why I can't take Carlos serious, because when ish hit the fan, he always tries to overtalk his panelists so as to drown out their opinion. As a friend, he should be open to critique for his friend and help her do better. I think a lot of this isn't just about Nene. I think it was who she interviewed. I think the whole LaTosha Scott has people's panties in a bunch. It kind of had mine in a bunch, you know. Because I was just like, why she gotta be? But I will tell y'all, I think Nene interviewed LaTosha to get under Candy's skin. Now, Candy may not care, but I do feel like it was more or less that type of thing. But yeah, like, LaTosha gives off bad vibes. She is still in that toxic marriage, even though she claiming they broke up. She allowed that man to cheat in peace. Okay, like, she is just really phony. She told that lie about having the trademark to escape. I showed y'all the receipts. Okay, the receipts was receipting. And it shows, survey says that was a lie. The trademark is in Tamika's name. So, yeah. It is a mess, honey. So another person says, what is the benefit of another talk show if there is no depth? Nene is pure surface, superficial, and not interesting in any way of being a successful talk show host. Reaching out to Mel by calling her out in the comments section completely established that Nene's request is on some bull. She had every intention of exploiting Mel for clicks and views and would have then bashed her afterward. Nene, you showed your hand. Is that how y'all feel? Look, is that how y'all really feel? So another person says Nene is too damn old to be so foolish. She knew LaTosha had a son and she was too busy trying to throw digs at Candy instead of being professional, just like her tacky ass leaving that ridiculous comment under Mel's post. That was unprofessional, and I bet Carlos encouraged her to do it. Do y'all think that Carlos told Nene to get Melody on there? Do y'all believe that? Put that in the comments. And shout out to Brent. He got a new baby. Yeah, Brent got a baby. Another person says, I feel like Nene doesn't need help because she's doing a great job by herself. Melody is great too. They both sure have a show. They should have their own show. Because both women are bosses, one would want to outshine the other. Melody is more like me. We don't need to fight for the spotlight. It happens organically. Shout out to my girl Nene. Another person says Dustin needs to be quiet. He changed so much being with Carlos King. Dustin used to read those people from Love and Marriage Huntsville cast until Carlos King called him out about it. Carlos King did not like it when Dustin favored Melody. Second, Nene is going to let the guests hang themselves. It helps Nene because they are talking about her. You gotta give it to Nene. She stay in the damn headlines. She do. Oh. And Dustin is sexy as hell. For him to be a gay guy, like his voice. Ooh, child, it do something to me. It do. And then y'all know I like the other gay guy. What's his name? Mims. Make it make sense. He's sexy as hell. I said, look at me. I'm just all attracted to the people from the other side of the tracks. Not the other side of the tracks. But honey, they sexy to me. Okay, listen. Okay. So, but yeah, Dustin, he just sound... Ooh, it's like when a nigga had a right voice, though. It's shit, you go from saying no to, well, maybe, since you said it like that. I remember I had this sexy ass boss. He had this sexy ass, he would just talk to me, honey. Ooh, child. Draws be wet. Woo, talking about having a wet dream, honey. Okay, wasn't a damn dream, honey, because I know I was awake, honey. Okay, listen. He caught my attention. He would just talk and shit. I would be like, pussy just get the dripping and dripping all over the place. Shit, I was like, honey, I think I done found the fountain of youth in between these legs when this man get to talking to me. Yes, baby, I'll do it. Y'all, I will do it. Okay? He just had a sexy ass voice. I like that. It was distinctive too, you know? Oh, another person says, of course, Carlos spoke with Nene about Melody. During her first show interviewing Carlos, he asked her who has next, meaning who's the next personality coming up. She said she didn't see anyone that she knows of. She, in return, asked Carlos, and he said Jocelyn Hernandez. So Carlos surely hip, huh? I think they mean Nene to Melody. That's one reason why I hope Melody does not respond. But yeah, they was dragging Miss Leaks, honey. Oh, somebody said something interesting about Dustin. Dustin himself is not a great interviewer. He's rather boring. Look back at his prior interviews with the Love and Marriage Huntsville cast. A lot of them needed better questions. None of them, those three, started off as good interviewers. They had to learn and grow into it. Nene was a reality star, not a talk show host. Give the girls some room to grow, people. That's what I'm saying, especially with Dustin and Claudia, of all people. Girl, you was the damn producer of that show. You let Al play you. He had Funky turn on you. Like, Claudia, she be letting people just take advantage of her. And then she was down to the Carlos King. Woe is me, playing the victim. Everybody is always backstabbing me. Check out my video I did about Claudia. She has this victim personality disorder. And I like Claudia. She's sharp, sometimes. And she be saying all the right things sometimes, But she has some growing up. I see some immaturity in her big age. Her ass is 50 something? Just immature. Oh, and shout out to MSN. They say that Real Housewives of Potomac star Karen Huger denied work release from Maryland prison after receiving a 1-year sentence. Ooh, child. It's a mess, honey. This news comes 2 months after Karen Huger began her stay in the Montgomery County Correctional Facility after being found guilty on several driving offenses, including failure to control speed and failure to notify of address change. According to the Washington Post, Huger has been collecting good behavior credit while behind bars for her 4th DUI charge. The outlet reported that the Bravo reality star, who joined the network in 2017, volunteered for the work release program, an offering geared toward rehabilitation that sometimes places inmates in a dormitory-style building rather than a traditional prison. However, the judge presiding over the case shot that request down swiftly and professionally. Shout out to the King of Reads. And issued a disapproval of transfer. He said, not today, girl, and tomorrow don't look good either. Karen, you're going to have to do that time, and you're going to have to do it the hard way. You on your 4th DUI. They ain't showing you no mercy, girl. She drew the wrong judge. Montgomery County defense attorney David Moyse said about Huger's disapproval. It was just horrible luck. Huger's attorney, David Martella, shared that he and his client were disappointed by the judge's decision, considering Huger would have returned to the rehab facility she was in prior to her sentencing to focus on her recovery. It's a great program, Martella said. We were disappointed she wasn't approved. During her initial sentencing, the prosecution slammed Huger for her repeated driving offenses. They also noted that the reality star had been given several chances to change her behavior in the past. I know that's right, honey. They standing on business, okay? I feel like Karen has to learn, her lesson, not to put her life at risk, other people's lives at risk while she's out drinking. So, yeah, she just gotta do the crime. Do the time for the crime, okay? Listen. Now, in other news, honey, Mia is leaving Real Housewives of Potomac. Why you allow Giselle to run you off that show? That's what she wanted. She didn't want you to become the star of the show. So shout out to MSN again, honey. They said that Giselle Bryant is a lot of things, but this time you can't call her a liar because she was right about Mia Thornton. The 40-year-old announced her departure from the Real Housewives of Potomac after being a cast member for 4 seasons. Mia has been teasing big news for the past few days, and on April 21st, she finally spilled the tea. She also gave a reason for leaving the show, revealing that she had relocated from Potomac. That wasn't surprising to Real Housewives of Potomac viewers who tuned in for the season 9 reunion. During the event, Giselle spilled the tea about Mia's life, telling their co-stars and host Andy Cohen that the mom of 3 did not live in Potomac and only flew in to film scenes for the show. Mia vehemently denied those claims, but it seems Giselle was right. I don't like that she's allowing Giselle to be right about her. It's giving coward. It's giving runaway bride. It's giving close your legs while you married, Mia. Okay, like, you the one decided to have a husband and a boyfriend, you know? So it's just like, yeah. But the good news is they can get out of that, I don't know, I feel like Mia, her storyline was keeping her stagnant, and it was stagnating the show, and it was just going somewhere that it didn't need to go. So maybe this is a blessing to redirect that cast into another direction, and don't put no more bitches like Mia on there in the first place, okay? But Mia did keep the party going, honey, because, honey, y'all didn't have nothing. Look, if Mia wasn't there, y'all wouldn't have had a damn beat going. Shout out to Nene. That's what she said about Kim. If Candy wouldn't have helped your ass, you wouldn't have had no damn beat going. Oh, and did y'all hear about that stuff with Shannon Sharp? That is crazy. He was just about to sign a $100 million deal, and here come Tony Busby, honey, a mess. I do believe that he's setting these rich, successful guys up to lose their wealth. I do believe that. He was caught on audio with some woman threatening her. It doesn't sound good, but I do not believe this woman, because it looks mighty convenient, you guys, that she's coming out now, accusing him of all this stuff. We gonna get off into it. Shout out to MSN again, honey. It says Pro Football Hall of Famer and media personality Shannon Sharp vehemently denies sexual assault and battery allegations filed in a lawsuit against him, alleging that he's the victim of a blatant setup and shakedown attempt. People do it. Okay? Sharp has been accused of sexual assault and battery, in addition to engaging in the intentional infliction of emotional distress in a lawsuit filed in Clark County, Nevada on Sunday, according to the suit obtained by the USA Today Sports. The plaintiff, listed under the alias Jane Doe, see, that's another red flag. You got to stand on business. Say your real name. Alleges that Sharp sexually assaulted her twice, once in October in 2024 and again in January 2025. They met at a Los Angeles gym in 2023 when she was 19. One of the attorneys representing Jane Doe is Tony Busby, whom Sharp accused of targeting him. Sharp said he expects Busby to release a 30-second clip from a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty. It's crazy. And then this man came after Jay-Z, and Jay-Z had to check his ass. I believe it, though, because it's, when people getting ready to sign big contracts and stuff, everybody want to, say that this or that happened. Why you didn't say any of this before? So, yeah, this is suspicious, you guys, especially with, what's been going on lately with Tony Busby. So what y'all think about all of this? Shannon says, this is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. Sharp said in an Instagram video on Tuesday, this is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby. I believe he is going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and plays into every stereotype you can possibly imagine. Wow. In a statement to USA Today Sports on Tuesday, Busby said Mr. Sharp is unfortunately a liar. What do y'all think about that? Now last but not least, we got Kirk and Rashida. I know these people think that they are the smartest people in the world. They still on Love and Hip Hop. I think they gonna retire from this show. I'm with Jocelyn. Jocelyn said, you would have thought that Rashida would have been done with Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I thought she would be done with Kirk. She's still over there with him and history earrings that he claimed he bringing back. A mess. They get to talking about, infidelity and the outside baby. I guess Rashida used to be in a rap group with some other girls. Kirk would manage them. I guess Kirk was like a mentor to her before they got together. I don't trust Kirk. And honey, I don't trust that Rashida has been with Kirk for so long. I just feel like it's one of them situations. I don't know. I feel like they try to make cheating and infidelity and having a baby on your person. I feel like they're trying to normalize that. I feel like they are very toxic. I don't feel like they are a good example. They ain't black excellence. Listen, maybe when it comes to like business, they have restaurants and she has her clothing. I like how Rashida dresses. She's a very pretty woman. Shout out to Deb Antony. She's the one that told Rashida to, girl, quit all that damn rapping. You beautiful. Get into this makeup business, this hair, the clothes. That's what you need to do. And that's what Rashida did. And, she's doing it and doing it and doing it well. So I'm proud of that. But I feel like Kirk is stagnating Rashida. She's allowing him to do it, so it's not all of Kirk's fault. But that whole situation with Jasmine, I didn't even halfway believe the storyline. And I just feel like it's just, I don't know. Kirk claims Rashida cheated on him, but nigga, see, this is the thing with men. They can never get over you cheating on them, but they can go out and have a whole nother human being on you. Make it make sense. It's a mess. It's giving Melody and Martell all over again. Okay, remember all them times he tried to tell us that Melody cheated on him? And it's like, nigga, focus on what you did. That's what Kirk's starting to do in these interviews. Yeah, Rashida, she didn't cheat on... She ain't have a whole fucking baby on you, so shut up. So let's see what the people think about this. One person says, I don't care about their intimate or relationship decisions. What's weird is when she starts talking about other people's husbands cheating or being open. Like, girl, what? She looked crazy when her husband... when she got pregnant, expressed his unhappiness with his wife and wanting to have a baby, then had a whole baby on her. Yeah, that was crazy. Y'all remember that last kid they had? He acted like it wasn't his. He was acting funny. Then he went out and did all of this. It's crazy. That is crazy. Another person says, Ma'am, I don't care if you on TV or not. That man denied your baby on national TV. He embarrassed your ass for over 5 years. Cut it out. Throwing shade at Yandy. Kirk was just at Jasmine house last night knowing him. So stop. Ooh, child. A mess. Another person says, I poke my head in here to support Carlos. I don't care for her, so I'm signing off. No disrespect to Rashida. She is just not my cup of tea. It's like, Rashida used to be liked. You know, they brought up her bubblegum song. I used to like the song. It's cute. You know, Rashida is a beautiful woman. I think one of my exes had a real big crush on Rashida. And I didn't mind it, you know, because she's a beautiful woman. And Rashida has always been cool. It's just this marriage to Kirk. It's just honey, it just serves as confusion, and God is not the author of confusion. Rashida and Kirk is. Okay, I don't know. It just puts Rashida in a bad light. Another person says, always like Rashida, but I love her even more now. I knew there was more to their story as the daughter of parents that have been married for over 42 years. Baby, they go through a lot, but it's not always infidelity. We gotta stop celebrating motherfuckers just staying together, putting up with any and everything, honey. Another person says, this was a great interview. I'm glad Kirk and Rashida decided to work on their marriage. Everyone says what they would do until you're put in that situation. I'm so happy for Kirk and Rashida. Y'all weathered the storm. It would have to keep raining then, because I'm not putting up with no damn Kirk. Okay? It's a mess. But yeah, I liked them at first, and then once he kind of did that, well, they was irritating me anyways. Let me not tell that lie. Look, that part right there. But I don't know. I don't know. It's something about Kirk that seems predatorial, premeditated. Like the whole situation with Jasmine seemed premeditated. Seemed like it's for a storyline. Another person says, funny, they're asked what age they were when they first started dating, and both Rashida and Kirk tried to distract by going into a funny story about how they met. Yeah, because somebody tried to make it look like he's like way older than her, but I guess he's only older by 6 years. Another person says, why they want to normalize cheating in marriage like that's a regular thing you experience. The devil is a lie. I've been with my husband 10 years and we never went through any of that. Cheating is such an intentional choice, and people make it look like you just slip and fall into someone's private area, like child plea. Yeah. Look, that part right there, especially how Kirk was treating her at that time. You know, he was accusing her of cheating. He all up in the hot tub. He was in there with Bambi and some other girls, him and Benzino. Y'all remember that? It was a mess. And I don't know. I guess he said he cheated because she wasn't sleeping with him. And I guess she just wanted some space. But like most niggas, you know, they use your words against you, honey. Okay? They weaponize your words and try to blame their bad behavior on you. You know, telling them you need space or you don't want to have sex. Same thing with Bartell. Are y'all noticing the pattern of behavior from these niggas? Okay, are y'all noticing it? Another person says y'all gotta stop glorifying cheating in relationships. Rashida is stupid. Infidelity is not a part of no ups and downs in any type of marriage. Yeah, I think it's just normal to them. Just because they've been together for years don't mean they was meant to be. I agree, honey. Another person says Rashida is not the first or last woman to be cheated on by her husband with the side baby. It happens every single day. I love that she fought for her marriage. Like any couple that don't just love each other, but are in love with each other. Look, if love look like that, don't love me. I don't want to be in no shit like that. Can we be a part of some positive shit where people is keeping their drawers on, coming home at night, ain't no side bait? I just need some real normal shit. Maybe it's me, but I just don't like that. Okay? I feel like I would look at them differently if they wasn't married, but it's once you become married and the commitment you make, and then it's so disrespectful to me. It's one thing when you single, or when you just with somebody. I don't know. Maybe I look at it a little, but it's disrespectful, period. Look, let me just cut it the hell out, shit. It's disrespectful if it would have been a long-term relationship. Because, I don't know, it just looks so, like the person said, it looks so intentional that he did that to her. Like, he did it to get at her, to punish her, to put her in the sunken place. And she said she was miserable. She would just cry all the time, be depressed. She didn't want to eat. It's really sad. But, honey, it just couldn't be me. But once again, Carlos loves toxic marriages. This is par for the course for him, honey. He was getting his life. He was eating. Okay, he loved when these marriages, honey, when they get toxic. So, he was right at home with this. Did y'all notice? Okay, that's what I noticed. All right, you guys, that's all I have to say about all of that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.